everybody, welcome back to Go with Manja. And actually I would like to repeat what we just had yesterday. Maybe you remember, yesterday we learned the basket, okay? So we were talking about apples, which are actually pretty sad because they cannot see much of the world. And the basket actually can see quite a lot. And maybe you remember, if you want to help them, what to do. You look first for the jumping moves. This one and this one, okay? And we also learned, if we have a handle, then we jump at the handle side. And if we have two handles, then the apples are unfortunately already captured. They cannot escape anymore. And next to only the small basket, we also learned about the large basket where 3 apples fit in. And in this case, we learned the first move to look at is this move. This is the vital point of the shape. And if we have one handle, then still, this is the move. And we also learned about the shape called bamboo. So in case white wants to try to capture, try to play something like this, bamboo. Okay, instead of something like this empty triangle. Look, like this, 2 stones are outside. Like this, only 1 stone is outside, yeah? And we also learned one more thing. If you have even a big basket with 2 handles, then even the vital point doesn't work anymore. And that is a very famous problem, which is actually called the crane's nest. And maybe you remember, it was pretty spectacular. We play here in the middle, which is really a super uncommon move. And then if black gives artillery, we don't rescue the white stone. Instead, we just give it away. And we give artillery, and black has no chance either way to capture the stones, to rescue the stones, sorry. Right? So this was what we learned yesterday. And I already gave you a kind of teaser what we are going to learn today, which is a ladder. And actually, if you learned already a little bit from somewhere else, usually people tend to explain the ladder very early. And yeah, now we are already some series ahead, and now you learn the ladder, okay? For a ladder, actually, you need 5 stones being important. There's 1 stone, which looks like this. There's some Atari. And try to remember, this stone somehow appeared already in the game. I mean, if it's like this, of course, white will just capture. But this move already existed before. So usually it happens something like this, and then white plays here. That would be the initial part of a ladder, okay? And the interesting part of the ladder is that you can actually capture the black stone, although it's not so very obvious. So if black tries to rescue the 1 stone, he goes out and he remains 2 liberties, okay? And now white has 2 options. He could give, for example, this Atari. After this Atari, black has again 2 liberties. Or white could give this Atari, but then black has 3 liberties. So black is much more happy with 3 liberties instead of 2. So that's why this would be the move, okay? And then black has 2 liberties, and white again has 2 options. He can play here, where black would have another 2 liberties, or white could play here, where black has 3 liberties, and this way black would be so happy. So white chooses this way. And then if black goes out here, white gives another Atari here, which makes black only having 2 liberties. White gives another Atari here. If black goes out, he has 2 liberties again. If white plays here, black would play here, white Atari here. And you see, this looks pretty funny, right? So we just continue, but what happens? I mean, the board ends soon, right? And actually this kind of shape, without telling you what happens now, it's called ladder. In German, actually, we call it different. We call it Treppe, which is translated something like stairs. And maybe you can see the stairs, so you can actually go upwards, right? So this is a ladder. And yeah, we may continue with the ladder like Atari. And then white gives another Atari. And then suddenly, of course, it's the end of the board. Although black goes out of Atari, he remains with only 1 liberty. And now white can capture actually all the stones at once. That's usually a very happy moment. So that's why black would not go out initially or try to rescue the one stone if this ladder doesn't work. Otherwise he would lose so many stones. Okay, so let's try to remember. In such a case, if black can go out or not, that is always the big question. Should we rescue this stone or should we not rescue this stone? In this case, the emptiest board, we should not try to rescue it, because it will happen what just happened. All the black stones will be captured in a ladder, because white always gives the right Atari, and then this kind of stairs happen and everything will be captured. But sometimes it can happen that some stones are already around. Let's say, for example, that stone. And now the story is completely different. Now it would be interesting to go out for black, because he will connect with his friend. Let's see what happens. If black goes out, white gives Atari. Black goes out, white gives Atari. Black goes out, white gives Atari. So we are going to be a little closer to our friend. Let's see what happens. And if I Atari now here, then black can connect. And now black has suddenly 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties. And 4 liberties is pretty good. So black cannot be captured in 2 moves, which means whatever white will play next, let's assume this one, black is super happy, because now white is completely destroyed, because there are everywhere double Ataris. For example, here you can Atari this white stone and at the same time that white stone. White can only rescue one of the stones, and black is super happy to get a Ponuki. Okay, so white is completely destroyed. So that means a ladder is always super, super dangerous. Either for black, because there is no ladder breaker, and if he goes out, he will be captured everywhere, and then white will probably win the game. Or there is a ladder breaker, and if both players play now the ladder, black will be connected to his friend, and white will be completely disaster, because everywhere only single stones, single groups, nothing is connected, and you can give a lot of double Ataris. Okay? So that's why actually a ladder, usually in a high level game, it's not played at all, because one of the sides will lose really a lot and the other side is winning really a lot. Okay? But if you are black, of course you have to decide, should I go out or should I not go out? Okay? So in this case, black should go out. Okay? In case there's no stone, black should not go out. Okay? That is pretty difficult to remember. And let's see if we can do that together. Actually, as you know, we are running now the JIGS Go School here. And today we had a new guest here. Actually, it's brothers and we have 2 guests. And I would like to welcome Raphael right now. So Raphael, come to me. How are you? Wie geht's dir?
I'm fine.
Yes? Oh, you speak English, so we can even try to speak English?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, let's try. How old are you?
I'm 8.
8, okay. And how strong are you now? Wie stark spielst du?
Das weiß ich nicht.
You don't know? Maybe around, so I saw him today, maybe around 20Q or maybe 15Q. Yeah? Something around that? I would say like that. Raphael doesn't know the ladder yet, and he was just watching when I explained it. So let's see if we can play the ladder together. Lass uns mal so eine Treppe spielen, yeah? So I will do it different this time. So I will put a white stone, which goes maybe out of Atari, and black tries to capture. Ich mache die Farben andersrum, yeah? So, and I put it into another corner, and the ladder faces another direction. So, du bist weiß, you are white, okay?
Yes.
Can you rescue the white stone? Kannst du dem weißen Stein helfen?
Nein, no.
No, okay, good, yeah? Wonderful. And if there's a white stone here, can you help the white stone?
Yes.
Now you have to go out, good. Try? Okay, so, and I give Atari.
Oops.
Good, I give Atari. and I make big mistake. Yeah, if that really happens in a game, I should not play like that. Yeah, I should actually try to connect my stones. That would be much better. Okay, but if I would be a beginner and try to play the ladder, then it's disaster. Ah, disaster time. I really lost so badly. Yeah, you made it very well. But let's see. Like this. You said white should not go out, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm stupid. Okay? I'm white. I try to go out. Can you capture me?
Yes.
Let's see. I go out. What are you doing? Good. Yeah, always give Atari from the left and from the right. From the left and the right. That way, I always have only 2 liberties. Good. Wow, you did really well. Wonderful. Last test, okay? One more test. Let's see what happens. Should black go out?
No.
No. I go out. Mistake, ja? Ich gehe jetzt raus aus der Treppe, aber es ist ein Fehler, okay? What are you doing? Was machst du? Aha. Okay. Good. Okay, you learned what a ladder is. Okay, now I make it difficult. Jetzt kommt's schwierig. I want to know from you if this black stone is here. Should black go out or not?
No.
And now everybody should think. Black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white. So you think black, that's not a friend of black. Okay, I will go out. Okay? And you try to capture me. Good. Uh-oh. Can you see? Uh-oh. Look, it was a friend. Can you see? Because this time I can capture this stone in between.
Oh.
Did you see? And now you have a big problem. So many stones. All are alone. That's a problem. Did you see? Okay, go ahead. You can play. Let's see what happens. Make another Atari. Okay. I capture this stone. Wow. 2 stones. Like captured like that. And now what to do? Yeah, this is also Atari. But I can make a double Atari here, for example. Right? And then I capture another stone here. And what you see now is that black really is everywhere connected and white has still a lot of problems everywhere. Yeah? And that's why before playing a ladder you need to be super careful and think. And then if you think this is not a ladder breaker and I go out, you should doubt. Du musst denken, hä? Why she go out of ladder? It's not right. Then think again and calculate again. Okay? So, and if you are sure it's good for you, you play. And if I play here again, you have to think, why? Why she goes out there? That's not good, right? So think again. White, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black. Ah, this is a friend of black. Okay, all right. Yeah? And then you should not make the ladder because otherwise it's disaster. Like, okay? Yeah? Good. So, I hope you got that part. And we will play one more game. We try to remember everything what we just learned before. Please remember the head. Please remember the 3 stones, the 3 diagonal stones. Try to remember the basket we learned. And try to find all these shapes in our game now. So we are playing together. And I will make some pauses in between. And you should find the shapes we already learned. Okay? So you are black. You can start. Onegai shimasu. Have a nice game.
Have a nice game.
So, okay. Remember we had something like this was Nick and Toby. On the 3rd line we also call it the uncuttable stones. And we will learn about this very soon. Go ahead. Why they are not cuttable. This, remember, we call keima. This distance we call iken tobi. Okay, go ahead. So you want to cut my camera? I say no. What are you going to do? And can you see? Now I can capture this stone in a ladder. Can you see that? Can you see? Where should I play to capture in a ladder? Right, I should play here, yeah? And now you cannot go out. It's already captured, yeah? So you should not play here. Good, go ahead. Okay. I play here. Okay. Good. This is Atari of my 3 stones, but yeah, that Atari, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, and I play here. I want to enter your territory. Maybe you remember still these 2 white moves? It's Kosomi, okay? Kosomi. So, and I try to continue my game. I try to go in there, but you don't let me go anywhere in, right? Aha, I see. No. Okay, what are you going to do now? Okay, so I try to go in here. And this is Atari, I should play here. And you should connect, okay? It's important. Maybe you saw the series before, and remember, we call this the 4-step endgame, yeah? I try to enter on the first line. You say, no, you cannot go in, and make Atari. I have to rescue my 1 stone on the first line to not get captured. And you need to connect. If you don't connect, next move, I will play here. And I can cut off this stone and all the territory is gone. Okay? Good. So let's repeat this sequence. Okay? Once more. I play here. Let me go in. No. I answer Atari. Good. Well done. And now I play here. Whoop. Doesn't want to be here. You saw? And there's 1 more point left. Can you see?
No.
You can go in here. Take 1 stone, 1 point of mine. I play here, and I think we are done. Okay. So you pass?
Pass.
I also pass. So now I capture here a stone. And I captured here a stone, so I have 2 stones being captured, right? And you didn't capture anything, so we can now count.
$24.
Right, so 2 times 9 is 18 and 6 is 24, and I have 3 times 9 is 27, so I won. But you really played very, very well, really. Wonderful. Yeah, so maybe now you saw another idea, and maybe this time we didn't have so many heads and so on, but I think you got a pretty good idea what to be done. I didn't tell you about last week's homework, so somebody was mentioned that, okay? So we should talk about our about yesterday's homework, and I will give you a new homework for tomorrow, okay? So let's see. Yesterday we were talking about the baskets, right? So, and we were talking about this basket. Maybe you remember. So, this basket has no handle, and white should go where? Yeah, that would be the perfect move, okay? Good. And what about this basket? That was a second basket we were talking about yesterday. What to do here? It looks like this, but the problem of this basket was it is facing the side, yeah? And with this, it's pretty difficult to go out. The jump is the thing we look at first, yeah? But then black will just make white being in the corner, and there's actually not much space left and probably get captured, yeah? You want to try? What would you play? Good. And what to do now? Cut, okay. but I can make Atari already, yeah? Okay, so actually here I think the 2 stones might be already lost, yeah? But I told you there's also sometimes the possibility to play this kind of Hane move. And that is usually used if the basket makes the apple facing the side. Yeah? If the apples only face the side, usually we don't jump to the first line, but instead we play Hane. And then sometimes you can help. Okay? For example, the board is maybe a little larger, and let's say it may continue like this, the game, for whatever reason. Even in this case, it's not very healthy, but white may survive that way. Okay, there are also quite some cuts of black, but this is going too much into detail, and I don't want to go really into that because every game is a little different and has stones around, and so we don't know what happens. Just I want to give you ideas, and one idea, in this case, apples facing to the side, might be not to jump to the first line, but instead play Hane. Okay, that might help. And then we had another basket. It was a small basket also, like this, facing the middle, where to play. Jump either here or here. And if I have this move already, where to jump? On the handle side. Right, good. And we were also finally, we had 4 problems, I think, if I remember correctly. Something like this. What would you do? Play there. Okay, but if you have already this handle, where would you play? Still there. Oh, it's always this move in the middle, okay? Where we watch first. It doesn't mean it's the only move, it's nicht der einzige Zug, der funktioniert. Sometimes other moves also work, manchmal funktionieren die anderen auch. But you look first to the middle point, yeah? Hier gucken wir zuerst hin. Okay, and if you have a basket with 2 handles, then you cannot do anything. Right, good. And I'm stupid. I try to go out. What are you doing? Can you remember? Maybe you remember at home what to do? That is really difficult. And I told you it's not easy. It's really this very strange move in the middle. This is solution. And then, yeah, exactly. You give the 1 stone away and black. You play there, right? And if I play here, happily, you can capture everything. Good. You really did a very good job. Okay, so I hope you remember all these things and you make your homework well. And this day's homework until tomorrow is a difficult one because I put nothing on the board and it's your job to set up a ladder. Maybe you remember we need 1 stone of 1 color and we need 4 stones of another color, okay, to set up a ladder. And I think you really understand the ladder if you are able to set up the initial part of a ladder yourself. If you are able to put it on the board yourself, then you really fully understood it. Okay, so that's your homework. Try to set up a ladder. And if you are advanced, you can even try to find a ladder breaker for that. And we are happy if you just send us your ideas, how a ladder looks like and how a ladder breaker looks like. And you can send it to us and we will check it. And maybe we will select one of the games to be shown tomorrow. Okay? And until then, we hope you have a wonderful time. Enjoy really the nice days. Play a lot of Go, 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 Go. And see you tomorrow at 5. Bye bye.